Hi everyone, right, I did say I'll come back and show you how to make this book, and this one I'm going to be used for drawing, but this one that I'm going to be doing now is going to be a notebook. So I'm just going to show you how to make them, and I'm going to give you the materials and the measurements. You're going to need some paper, card. I've used thick card with this, but if you're going to be painting in it, I suggest you use watercolour paper, and the measurements on that is going to be 22 centimetres by 34. Fold that in half. I am using 4 pages, but you can use 5. I wouldn't use any more than that in each set, and you need 3 lots of these. So 22 centimetres by 34. Fold them in half. When you've done that, make sure you've got as many as you need. I'm only putting 3 in my book, and I'm going to show you how to do the stitching. You need to measure along the spine of your pages of the sets. What I've done is just done it by eye basically, and all you're going to need 6 holes. I've done 2 near the ends and then 2 in the middle. And once you've done that, and all I used for my holes was this little spike that I use for fossiling, and that it's really easy and goes straight through dead easy. Once you've done that, put your holes in, take your needle, and I've got this large sewing needle. It's actually made for canvas, when you're sewing canvas, but it's just right for these books. A long piece of twine. Okay, you need to go in the first hole, pull it through and leave enough to tie in the middle, good 4 or 5 inches. Thread it through to the next hole, and just do that all the way up the spine. Like I'm doing, I'm just threading it up and down the spine like that, as you can see. Into the last hole, and there you'll see that. Okay, thread it back through the hole into the second hole, and then thread it back through the middle hole. Take it off the needle and go back to the other end, re-thread it, go through the second hole again. Oh sorry, I've just pulled my thread out, I didn't leave it quite long enough, I don't think. Thread it through, there we go, pull that through, I have to do that again actually. You can get that needle, I can just do it, and then thread it back through to the spine again, the last hole in the spine, like that. And then what you're going to do with these 2 ends, just trim mine off, you don't need that. So you've got that, is just tie a knot, really tight knot. You need some twine that will not come undone. Some twine, it's quite rubbery and comes undone, and it's no good that. And then just cut that off, and there you have it. You've got your pages sewn together nice and neat in the middle, and you're not going to be seeing these at all. And then what you've got to do is attach these together. Now the way to do that, or the way I do it, in fact I might just use, that might not be long enough. Take another piece of twine, thread your needle, so you only have to make sure you've got them together. Go through the first bit of twine that you did on each one on the spine. Okay, need to leave enough to make the knot. Go through the next spine like that, take it back through to the middle, and you're just threading it through the loops that you've just put in. Okay, again back through to these, and then back through again, the end ones. And that's all you need to do. Right, once you've done that, you then just tie that in a knot. And the only reason why I'm doing it like that is because I want to keep the books separate. I didn't want to put them inside each other, because otherwise it's too bulky and your pages don't fit right. So that's that. Tie it in a knot and then chop that, because all we're going to do with this is the back page actually glues into the back page of the book. So there you go, they're all stitched together, nice and neat. Put that to one side. Put my needle in there, and pencil away. Now the next piece you're going to need is a piece of card for the binder, for the spine, and that has to measure 2.5 across by 18 inches long, because that's the size of the book I'm doing. And then what you do is you score it the first inch and then score it 1/2 inch after that, so you've 1 inch either side of the spine. Score it, fold it and put that to one side. You're going to need a little handle. Well, you don't have to, but I'm going to put a little handle on mine, and I've chosen a button with a flat bit that was sent to me by Kat yesterday. You're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard, which is the front and back cover, and mine measure 18 across by 12 inches long. So you need 2 of those. You're going to need the inside panels of the front and back cover, and they measure 11.5 centimetres by 17.5 centimetres. And you need 2 of those, and I'm just matching it up chocolate. And then you're going to need the paper that's going to cover your front and back cover, and I've just chosen this from the travel stack. And you need that at 15 by 22, 15 centimetres by 22, and you need 2 of those. And then for the decoration on the front of the cover on the spine, you're going to need a little bit of ribbon, and I've chosen this one. A little tip here, because I've just cut it, it will fray, but there's a way of getting around that. If I can just show you, put this straight. Oh, this isn't it. See what I mean? It frays. See, it frays, so just chop it like that. Take a lighter or a flame of some sort, one that works, and then just melt that, and that will stop that fraying like that. And that's all you need to do. On that, I've got that measurement there because I want it to tuck over the end, is 21 centimetres. Okay, so what we're going to do now is do the front and back cover to start with. Take hold of one piece of your card, whatever you're using. Make sure that a good edge that's going to fold over. Centerise that. Take some glue. Now, I don't like using the you know, the tape for this. I prefer the glue because you need the pages to stick properly. So, and you're going to need a paintbrush or whatever you use to pop on. Let me just see if I can clean this. Where's my little thing? Hopefully that'll do. Oh dear. Just need to get the end cleared. It's got stuck and dried up. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, let's have a look. Let me just pour a bit on actually. Just pour a little bit on. Just pour that on for now. Take your paintbrush. You can always add more. And what you're going to do is just completely cover it. It does need to be completely covered in glue. Need to put some more on. Make sure you do the edges. Yeah, I'm filming. Tea's done. tell you that yesterday? Every time I go to film does my husband come in. Every time. Right, once you've covered that, set that in the middle. Okay. And then I turn mine over and I use the brayer. It's a pain. Just use the brayer to make sure that's all level and stuck. Added pressure does help it. Okay. Leave that a minute to one side to really take hold. Take your other piece and you're doing exactly that. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Take your chipboard and you're doing exactly the same again. Now it's going to take 2 videos of this because it is quick, but you need to get it right. Look a bit where I don't want. Add a little bit more glue. There we go. Because it's thick paper that I'm using, thick card from the travel stack, it's going to need plenty on anyway. So pop that on, level it up, turn it over, use your brayer. That to one side to soak in and go back to this one. Now what you're going to do is just cut the corners off. In fact, I'm going to cut mine a little bit nearer this time. Near the edge. Like that. Just chop those off. Then you're going to need to get your glue. And make sure you cover all the paper with glue. Right, we're on to 12:42 at the moment, so I'm going to have to come back, but I'll go on as long as I can. A really good lather of glue. Okay. Oops. Don't worry about that bit because you're going to cover that anyway. Even get this in before we finish. Then what you're going to do with this, you turn over the ends first, like that, top and bottom. Might take a minute or two with it being thick card to stick. Like that. It will, 'cause it actually needs to soak in. Like that. Alright, tend to brayer mine on. Wipe the brayer off. Right, this is going to go off in a minute, but as you can see, that's what you do, and then you need to cover that with your paper, with the card piece that you cut. So I'm going to do that and continue as long as I can. Okay. Go right up to the edge there. And then just go halfway over the border what you've done there. You're only going to need half of that. And then what you're going to do is fit your paper on. Like that.